Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all having a great day and that you're all doing well. To start things off, the world's second largest stock exchange, known as Nasdaq, has listed the AI-powered CIX 100 index created by crypto data provider Crypto Index. The news was revealed in a press release shared with Cointelegraph on the 15th of October. CIX 100 is a crypto market benchmark that uses a neural network algorithm to analyze data for the top 100 cryptocurrencies, taking into account over 200 different factors, reportedly designed to exclude coins with fake volumes and rankings. The human-free tool targets both industry newcomers and professional investors, according to the press release. The data is derived from the 9 largest cryptocurrency exchanges globally and factors in the results of millions of trades alongside news releases, and social media data. Only coins that have consistently made it into the top 200 for at least 3 consecutive months are included in the index, which is rebalanced monthly. Crypto Index CIX 100, which is already listed on Reuters, Bloomberg, and TradingView, has reportedly gained 1,100% since its establishment in May 2017. Its AI-powered predictions reportedly perform with 82% daily accuracy. I was just talking about this yesterday. We have, for some reason, not received an enormous amount of news from the people from the Nasdaq as to exactly what they're going to be doing with their supposedly upcoming cryptocurrency exchange. What this leads us into is that same discussion that we were having before. Still do what I said before, or rather my suggestion for what I said. If you're looking for what to get into as far as cryptocurrency wise, try to remain, if you can, logically, mathematically within the top 10, as these coins have the highest trading volume, have the highest liquidity, most usage, they're always in the news, etc., etc. But I kept on saying I was wondering exactly which coins were going to be listed on the Nasdaq as far as their cryptocurrency trading platform, not through an index. Because once we have proper news of what coins they're going to be listing, one can only assume that these coins will probably also be around for a long time. I don't assume that the New York Stock Exchange or the Nasdaq or any other major company is going to either be custodying or listing coins that they expect to leave their platform within a year or so. It is only, what's the term? Egg on their face. It's only like a, oh wow, we shouldn't have done that kind of moment. This will also lead to, I want to say the term isn't price discovery, but it allows more people to really, especially people who are trying to get into the cryptocurrency space. If you see that these listings or these coins are listed on the Nasdaq, Reuters, Bloomberg, and TradingView, these coins then kind of become daily household financial names, especially when people are looking for other coins, other methods of getting into the cryptocurrency space. Anyway, here's the actual article right here, or another thing mentioning the AI-powered crypto index for the top 100 coins. Quite fascinating. And I guess that's the Nasdaq news for today. Let's move on. Next up, the Oxford English Dictionary, published by the Oxford University Press, has added Satoshi to its compendium of the English language. First used less than 7 years ago, Satoshi is the newest word added to the dictionary. The addition was made as part of a quarterly update to the respected sources database. It also includes the words Manhattanhenge, whatevs, wow, and a revised history of fake news. I didn't know that whoever put whatevs in the dictionary that's intense. According to the now official OED definition, a Satoshi is the smallest monetary unit in the unit in the Bitcoin digital payment system, equal to 100 millionth of a Bitcoin, or that number right there, which I'm not going to read out. OED lexicographers take a descriptive approach to language, meaning that the dictionary observes how words emerge, grow, or diminish in popularity and change definitions over time. They said, our role is to monitor and record emerging vocabulary so that we can take new terms available to our dictionary users as soon as they start to gain traction. End quote. Cool. I guess it was bound to happen eventually. A lot of the discussion, maybe the timing is a bit odd. Maybe it's simply just me. A couple of weeks ago, On a podcast and an article I was reading, they were discussing the actual future usage of Bitcoin. And I mean, as far as it is believed that when or if Bitcoin's price goes up extremely high in the future, it will then be unobtainable for everyday normal average people to even think about obtaining an entire Bitcoin. When that ends up happening, or even right now, if you kind of want to even put it into that same situation, not many people around the world, probably several billion people, don't probably have an extra 8,000 US dollars equivalent in their bank account to be able to buy an entire Bitcoin. So what they do is they buy Satoshis. This is what many people do. Me and my friends do. It's just logical. So the idea is that in the future, things will have to be priced in Satoshis. And I don't mean as far as like worldwide adoption, everyone buying something, it's in Satoshis for the t-shirt. It's more like that Coinbase, Binance, and other websites will simply have to start announcing or saying that that they're going to have like Satoshi buying packages, i.e. what Coinbase had, what was it, about a year ago, where they were like, if you put $25 into Coinbase, they'll give you 5 different coins, like fragments of all the other different coins. But you're obviously not buying an entire Bitcoin for $5 US, and therefore they would have to start pricing and saying you would be able to receive X amount of Satoshi, X amount of so and so. And I guess, like I said, the timing is a bit odd, but I think that's only just my crazy head formulating things inside of it. Anyway, Satoshi is now part of the English dictionary. Cool. Yeah, it's part of our normal vocab at this point, but I guess the rest of the world is also going to start learning what a Satoshi is. I just woke up. It's that morning I can't speak feeling once again. Anyway, let's move on. Here's a good one. Denis Beau, the deputy governor of France's central bank, Banque de France, recently delivered comments regarding central banks' approach to cryptocurrencies. On the 16th of October, Beau spoke at the official Monetary and Financial Institutions Forum conference in London, where he discussed the role of cryptocurrency assets in today's global financial payment system. Beau stated that the traditional bank-based economy ecosystem could face significant changes due to the many technological developments such as blockchain and distributed ledger technology, further explaining, and I do quote, "With the emergence of so-called crypto assets and so-called stable coins, we may also see new settlement assets develop which may compete against and possibly, according to their promoters, replace commercial and central bank money as settlement assets at the center of our payment system," end quote. And that is incredibly true. Many of the coins developed right now, or that have already been developed, were created exclusively in some sort of way to either replace banks or simply have people have another alternative way to be able to use money or something with value instead of having to use banking systems. For those of you who have ever, and I assume a lot of people, ever sent a bank transfer or an international bank transfer, you know it is not only costly, but if you do it on a Friday afternoon, you'd better believe that that person who you're trying to transfer the money to is not going to receive their money until at least maybe luckily Tuesday, if not early Wednesday. When you can simply open up an app and send money to your friend in Tokyo in about a good 18 seconds, it kind of puts the old system into perspective when you go, we really don't need it. Weirdly again, for some reason, they understood that there's an issue that they're going to be replaced, and it was simply by the announcement of Libra. I hope they continue to personally focus on Libra because they have no idea what's actually coming their way. Beau continues by saying that stablecoins of potentially large size and reach might present unforeseen challenges of system-wide importance to competition policy, financial and monetary stability. That's also another thing that they keep. You'll notice sometimes, and this isn't a tinfoil hat moment, it's an actual thing in finance, or rather when you're trying to downplay the importance of something, or rather, I want to say demonize something. Like when you're trying to make sure that something seems not good for everyone else, you simply also make sure to state, you've seen this many other times before, especially if you look back any other announcements, discussions that we were having about stable coins and or decentralized cryptocurrencies as far as what they'll do to the actual economy. Economists or banks peoples always end up announcing that it's a challenge to financial and monetary stability. This is meant to scare everyday normal people who have no idea about traditional finance or exactly how traditional finance works. If you know anything about finance, you know that the system is corrupt. You know that everything is made for the winners to continuously win. And when they talk about financial and monetary stability, they mean on their side. They mean that they will have problems in the future if something ends up taking over their top spot. If you are the king and someone knocks you off the throne, you're going to have problems because you're probably no longer going to be king. That's it. It's very weird wording. It's kind of the same exact thing. When I first got into finance, for those of you who care, I'm sure people are like, nope. When I first got into finance, one of the really weird things that I found, I remember I was like, okay, I'm going to get into this. And I started watching Bloomberg and this. And so I used to watch all these news things for hours and hours and hours. And I used to sit there writing down a lot of the terms that I heard that I just simply didn't understand. I was like, none of this makes any sense. I had about 50 words and I was like, okay, time to do some research. And it took me about a good 3 or 4 weeks. I was looking through all the words, learning them, trying to understand what these terms and dividends and blah, 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 and so meant, and exactly what a 401k was and a pension, what have you. And then I found an article by this old economist from around the 60s or 70s or 80s. He said he was really into the field. And he said this is all done on purpose. They make sure that they have new terms for everything. Like this is why we have the term commodity and security and SEC and the CFTC. These are all meant to be things that you're only, it's like a mini exclusive club. And I know that sounds really weird. He said that the entire reason why they do this is that because while a lot of these things are meant to make you believe that finance is for everyone, finance isn't for everyone. There's a reason why when you go to your bank, they tell you to put your money into simply a savings account or a CD with them so that you can receive a tenth of 1% on your money when inflation is 2%, as opposed to suggesting to you, even everyday normal people, to put your money into this stock or into that stock. This stock has performed 157% in the last 2.5 years. We think it might be good for you. You'll make extra money because what ends up happening is this whole entire wealth of despair. Anyway, it's a whole other conversation. Got off track, but you understand exactly what I'm saying. The financial and monetary stability quote that we keep hearing over and over is the same exact thing that we heard before when people kept on saying that Bitcoin was dangerous, Bitcoin was evil, Bitcoin is rat poison squared, Bitcoin is only used by people who do illegal things. It's the same exact terminology. Same thing. Bo adds that central banks really only have 3 options to address cryptocurrencies. The first option would be to completely ignore crypto assets, which would not mitigate any of the potential risks. The second option would be to ban all cryptocurrencies. And the third option, which is the most preferred one in Europe and France, according to Bo, is to establish and standardize crypto regulations across the board. The idea is to simply have one framework for the entire world. Everyone runs by the same exact rules, same exact system, same exact laws, same exact this, same exact that. No matter where you are, it's always the same. I'm going to tell you, while that may seem great saying it out loud, it is probably not going to happen. Why? Because if you live on this planet, in this world right now, you know that's not how politics and or money works. If it did, we'd have a utopian society. However, we know that sometimes even our next door neighbor country may not like us. So saying that we all have to run or abide by the same exact things, like there are other countries who are probably stronger and wealthier who are probably not going to run by the same exact rules as another country. They're probably going to make sure that economically or financially that they do betterer than the other countries who they're trying to get ahead of. The point being, this has been a call by European bank specialists, analyticalists for the last couple of months. It hasn't been over a year yet. This has been a discussion since we heard of the rumblings of Libra coming forth. It pretty much comes down to we should all run by the same exact thing. It makes the most sense. And therefore, anything that's happening around the world we'll be able to share all the data and information. This is what we were talking about a couple of weeks before, where a lot of analytics companies are trying to group together tons and tons of coins onto their database to figure out exactly where these transactions are going around the world. That's probably going to continue, but there's going to definitely, we will not live in a world where every single country is going to get along and going to apply by or comply by or go by the exact same rules. Just not going to happen. I would actually love if they just completely ignored crypto assets. That'd be great. That'd be a new renaissance for the cryptocurrency space. Banning is not going to happen. I'm fairly certain at this point the amount of banks and institutions who are into cryptocurrencies leads me to believe that a lot of the biggest banks, institutions, and richest people in the world probably hold huge amounts of cryptocurrencies. Any banning or talk of banning would be swept under the carpet immediately as money rules the world. And even the third option is probably not going to happen, but it's nice of them to, to think that they're going to be able to, has there ever been a point in history where every country around the world, even allies, were able to properly work together and actually do the exact same thing? There are even fragments between, I'm not gonna even say the names of countries, countries who are supposed to be super buddy, they don't like each other. They don't have the same economic policies. They have different tax rates. They have different everything. Anyway, here's the actual article, or I guess maybe letter, right here from bankfrance.fr on their website. Right here for those of you who want to read it. Anyway, it's the crave for blockchain technology. That is a weird sentence. Let's move on. Next up, London-based Finastra, the third largest financial services technology firm in the world, has partnered with Ripple to grant its customers access to the RippleNet blockchain network. As reported by the Financial Times on the 16th of October, the cooperation between the two firms will see Ripple's over 200 existing clients reciprocally access Finastra's extensive banking network, which includes 48 of the top 50 banks globally. Finastra was formed in 2017 after a merger between Misys and D+H, with the development hailed at the time as the establishment of a global behemoth in the market for financial software. According to the Financial Times report, Finastra customers and existing RippleNet partners will be able to transact cross-border with end-to-end tracking and transparent oversight of fees, delivery time, and status. Customers will be hosted on Ripple's cloud solution in order to improve speed, as well as having the option to use Ripple XRP's powered on-demand liquidity solution, which purportedly offers a 3-second settlement time for international payments. So, I'm eating my own words. I mentioned about a week ago that we're receiving almost no news from Ripple anymore. Lo and behold, this is happening almost on a daily basis now, sometimes around 3 or 4 times a day, as far as Ripple partnering or releasing some type of new news. This is actually incredibly large, and this, I dare not even speak it out loud. This leads me once again to the discussion that we keep having, or were having before, that Ripple has a lot of partnerships. We know that banks, institutions, companies, cryptocurrency exchanges, people, funds are using, buying, selling, holding XRP, but the price doesn't move. It could be simply that because the market is down, therefore there's no real movement. However, this is actually one of the, if not, here we go. Yeah, thinking off the top of my head, it says it right here, the third largest financial services technology firm in the world. The fact that they're going to be using or allowing access to RippleNet to 200, I think Ripple at the moment has over 250 clients, roughly, give or take. 48 of the top 50 banks globally will also have access to their information or their network. It's always a little weird. You always expect a bigger explosion. It's like, it would be like hearing that a company had sold so many items, whatever, and they ended up making $100 billion in profit. And at the end of the year, their stock went down. You kind of sit there questioning. Anyway, I'm not going to even stay on this topic. We spoke about this many times during the course of 2018. Ripple has another major partner adding to their list of already major partners. Here's the actual FinTech Times news article right here. It says Ripple to bring blockchain technology to Finastra's banking customers. Always insanely good news, but the market does not yield. Let's move on. Next up, United States merchant service provider and payment processing firm Alliant Payments will be paying each of its employees part of their compensation package in cryptocurrency. In a press release on the 16th of October, Alliant said that the offer reflected a desire that employees become invested customers and the shift to digital currency. Alliant launched its crypto processing system for payments or merchants, dubbed Crypto Bucks, back in 2017, and developed a proprietary, fully compliant solution in July 2018 to process crypto payments, converting them to USD and offering merchants next-day payouts. Not really important what they do, so more the fact that they're going to be paying their employees in Bitcoin. I tried to find it and I couldn't. I assume it's washed away in the other what's it called, levels of the internet at this point. Around 2014, 2015, I think France, there were a couple of companies in France that were actually paying their employees in Bitcoin. I couldn't find the articles and it drove me completely insane. You know, like when you're looking for something and you keep searching and you're like, it's there, and you look down, you're on page like 37 and you're like, it's not there. The point being, this is something. It's funny when you look back and you see where you were and you thought that you were further ahead. In 2013, 14, and 15, even 2013, people assumed by 2015 that people around the world would be getting paid in Bitcoin. I mean, like everyone. Like we just assumed, like, yeah, it's going to happen by then. Especially around 2016, 2017, it seemed like a fully given at that point. As many of you may know, you're still not being paid in Bitcoin. I assume this will take another 10 to 15 years to at least have this option to be able to do so. What we have seen is that even with little droplets, the bucket is actually starting to fill up. Here's an article right here. This is from about a month ago. It says New Zealand just became the first country to legalize salary payments in cryptocurrencies. It's happening slowly around the world. There are many companies around the world. I don't know if many of you even work for companies that get paid in, or have asked you if you wanted to get paid in Bitcoin. It's becoming a thing. And this is what I mean. Like, we may get news snippets about one company paying their employees in Bitcoin, but at the same exact time, there are probably 3 other companies who are also doing the exact same thing that we're just simply not hearing about. Or when an entire country also makes it legal to be able to be paid in Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies. This leads us to the discussion once again. Should Bitcoin rise rapidly one day in the future? This will probably become a very normal thing. I know for instance, I wouldn't mind being paid in Bitcoin at all. There are many crypto podcasters and people in the cryptocurrency field. When they send invoices, they want to be played. They want to be paid exclusively in Bitcoin. It's not personally, my feelings on the topic for my life, I don't consider it a bad thing. I think if the world is going to move this way anyway, why not just get paid exclusively or simply in Bitcoin as opposed to having to get fiat and then swap it into something else? Especially, like, imagine in Portugal where crypto isn't taxed. That just sounds lovely. Anyway, that's the adoption news, if you will, for today. It seems like the world isn't moving forward, and then you realize the world is moving rapidly forward. I think we focus a lot. It's all of us. We're all part of it. We all focus so much on price, not realizing that Bitcoin is now a worldwide currency. Like, it's being used daily by millions of people around the world. Eventually, the price, I believe, will catch up. But as far as like adoption and this becoming like a new global movement, I think we are here, but we still have so much further to go. As always, an enormous thank you to all my Patreon supporters. Bodie McBoatface, Yes to Crypto, Miller hits chest every day, and Kyle skips leg day, minting coins, Jeremy Fox, Jim Gardner, Anthony Charles, Nick Mangialavori, Paxis, Crypto and Beer Shipmate, Vlad the Impaler, Richie Rich III, Nick Kanaya, Setsuna, Damien, Nicholas, Runner with One Piece, One Love, Cryptopolish, Crypto Artist, Coldy 3D, Strange Radio, Central Mechanic, Mill Weezy, Adobo, Bankroll Network, Crypto Joe, 242 to the World, Wise Night Owl, Jared Schneider, Triple M and J, Woody and Daisy, Brady Niels, Master Ventures in Thailand, More Hammeroni, Adam Graysick, Todd Mullis, and Professor Wally from Gunbot University. Thank you all very, very much for your support at the moment. Bitcoin is down. Last night, the discussion was, is Bitcoin going to go below 8,000? It did. Bitcoin is currently at 7,974, at least on this price metric. I've seen a couple of other places and even the other websites. Sorry for talking so fast. And even the other websites I was looking at, Bitcoin was, some websites have Bitcoin at $8,300. I mean, 8,003, sorry. 8,003. There we go. Most places are, there's usually like a difference of around $40 to $50, give or take where you get your pricing from. A lot of people are saying, the analysts out there, that Bitcoin looks poised to go down even further. I mentioned yesterday when Bitcoin was around, what was it, 81 or something like that? I said, don't be surprised if it falls back down to 77 or even 72. I think, personally, I think there's no real downward pressure on the price that is organic. I don't think that people around the world are actively trying to sell off their Bitcoin in an attempt to be able, or rather like out of fear. Oh my gosh, it's going down. I have to sell. I'm out of the market forever. I think personally that what it is that once again, whales pushing the price down to try and accumulate as much as possible. I was reading an article and it made me not angry, but it was more like a come on. The article was talking about the manipulation within the cryptocurrency market and how whales can do this and whales can do that and so and so and so and so. And I sat there and I was like, yeah, but we know that stock markets are also manipulated. Like, it's not like stock markets are the cleanest, greatest places in the entire world. Like, there are firms and banks who are fined billions, not thousands, not hundreds of thousands, not millions, not even hundreds of millions, billions of dollars per year for fraud, things that they've done that they knew was wrong, that the SEC or the CFTC ends up seeing and they go, it's fine, just pay us some money. You can do the same thing again next year. It's totally good. We know that manipulation happens within all these markets. The gold and silver market, I think it was somebody, it was a former, there was a guy about 3 or 4 years ago who was working for JP Morgan Chase who quit. He was like, I can't take it anymore. He said openly that they were manipulating the gold and silver market to keep the prices down. Like, we know that manipulation is happening all over the world. So to single out the cryptocurrency space is kind of nonsensical, one might say. The point being, Bitcoin looks like it's going to move down further. If it does, don't be surprised. Just a bit of a warning. You know, it's a two-way scenario. If it goes down, it goes down. If it goes up, it goes up. That's just how prices move. The only really weird things at the moment, Monero is up by 6.35%. I checked around in the interwebs to try and figure out why Monero was the only coin up. And the only article I could find over the past 24 hours, or rather the only news about Monero was this. It says, new crypto jacking malware, Graboid, infects thousands of computers to mine Monero. That was the only Monero news I could find about Monero within the last 24 hours to try and explain as to exactly why Monero was going up. I don't assume that Monero is going up in price because people are having their computers infected. But lo and behold, the movement is for something. Maybe about an hour ago, there was something that was announced where they were like, yeah, new updates, new cool features, new blockchain 2.0, something like that. That's why the price is going up. That's the only news that we have for that. What was the other weird one? Dogecoin is up by 7%. The Dogecoin news, and I kid you not, the Dogecoin news about Dogecoin going up was that Dogecoin went up. That was the Dogecoin news over the last 24 hours as to why Dogecoin was going up. Right, so you understand now. There was almost no news on NEM, which has $35 million 24-hour trading volume, which means that anyone with a good couple $1 million could have pushed that price up. As you already see, the price is falling down. Where was the other really odd one? Oh, 0x. When I looked at it before, it was up around 9%. The 0x news was that 0x news was up. And I checked for 24-hour news. There was none, except for like old articles that mentioned the word 0x and Coinbase together. And if you go back a week, it said 0x hits overbought conditions after 150% gain. Can the rally continue? As far as I've seen, with $46 million 24-hour volume, I'm going to assume that not many people are using, buying, selling, and or holding 0x. 0x made it into the news earlier this year, regardless of what they might be or might be doing, because Coinbase added was it a staking feature, an interest? You could receive money in some sort of way by buying 0x on their platform. One, not financial advice. I myself don't do that, and I'm probably not going to do that. When coins pop up for no particular reason, especially when they're not even in the news, especially when there aren't really strong fundamentals behind them, if Bitcoin is going down, when we've only had good Bitcoin news, logically in my mind, coins that aren't spoken about even on a bi-weekly, if not monthly basis, that go up randomly, are probably never going to make it into my portfolio anytime soon, unless, and I mean this in the most honest way, unless the New York Stock Exchange, the Nasdaq, Fidelity, and TD Ameritrade announce we're going to be adding so-and-so coin, then I'll pick some up. But at the moment, a lot of coins have very weird movements, and I say this mainly because I've seen before when prices have popped up that many people were asking me why I did not talk about said coin or why I don't own said coin when said coin has been moving upward. It's because of the volume. A lot of the volume is not what I believe it to be. I'll simply put it that way, and it seems a bit pointless in my eyes. I would rather focus on the other coins that I've mentioned that I have before, if not the top three, as they are logically the most used and well-known cryptocurrencies in the cryptocurrency space. Wow, okay, first of all, side note, Bitcoin's volume is 15 billion. Ether's volume is just shy of 7 billion. XRP doing pretty well, and I'll get back to that in 1 second, actually, 1.8 billion. Tether's volume is $19 billion. Before, we've seen that when Tether's volume goes crazy, it usually means, obviously, that something is afoot within the cryptocurrency space. It's usually preceded, receded, usually afterwards. Bitcoin's price performs relatively well because that means that people are actively trading like mad back and forth. That's kind of, that's dwarfing Bitcoin's daily volume. That means Tether is, for all intents and purposes, liquid. The other part to mention is this also took me by surprise. Months ago, when Bitcoin's volume was around 16, 17 billion, Ether had around 3-4 billion. XRP's volume was around $600 million. And I remember Litecoin was around 1.2 billion. And I was like, need to move on up, Ripple. And then now, with all the news, I wonder what's been taking place. This is a tripling of daily volume. And this has been occurring the last couple of weeks as well. I think even a couple of days ago, it was like 1.6 billion. So people are pushing money or actively trading XRP a lot more frequently, but it's not doing really much to the price. But it shows that there's at least 3 times monetarily wise the amount of interest in the market. Quite fascinating indeed. I hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening. Wherever you are, wherever you might be, I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all, every single one of you, once again for watching and or listening. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See